Xtreme Movie Show. I'm your host, Rob, here with RDV. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Season 2 of The Witcher on Netflix. The trailer just dropped. We're going to give our thoughts and reaction to it. It's a show that we covered, RDV, when it came out, episode by episode. And I think the general consensus is that we liked it. And for all its hardcore fans that say it is or is not like the video game or the books, or whether it's a ripoff of the Elric of, I always called it Melbinone books, but I guess since it has the little carrot fancy thing, everyone likes to go, well, it's Melbinone. Well, okay, that's good on you. I think we liked it. I saw the trailer, and I will say this: it's a good looking trailer. What's your initial take?
I'm kind of excited because it looks like they're at I think it's called Karen Moto. What's called the castle in the third game?
I don't even know.
It was if you played the third game, right?
No, I have not.
Okay, in the third game is due with Ciri, and he takes her because people are hunting her down. He takes her to basically the home of the Witchers, where children were sent to there to become turned into what they are now. They're basically mutants, That's why that's why his hair the way he is and everything, He takes her there. It's a safekeep. It's where all the Witchers, the last remaining ones, are there, as a last defense there. And then it's also where Ciri gets basically trained by the main guy who taught the Witcher. His name is Geralt. So I'm excited because I saw that in the group, or not in the trailer. It showed him walking into the castle. So, and then you see him fighting, practicing on the logs.
Yes.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, they're incorporating that, Some people, but the whole thing, if it's going to be like the game or the books, well, I never read the books, but I remember that being a big part, and her being a big part of the third game, because she even speaks in the trailer. I feel like it'd end the world. Or she said something like that. I could burn the whole world. And that's because for those who haven't seen the game or played the game, she is like the end weapon of the world. There's this other worldly creature or supernatural being that wants to use
Weapon
her.
X, Ground Zero. I mean,
she's the weapon of mass destruction. That's what she is.
As opposed to the weapon of mass instruction, where she was going to learn how to control it, allegedly. Yeah, that's one of the things about the trailer that popped out to me, that let's just say your only familiarity with this is, Henry Cavill's in it, so I watched it. I kind of liked it. It's a fantasy thing. Let me watch the second one. The first one, had a blend of the Monster of the Week type thing, and those that were the hardcore fans of our Kolchak series that were recovered episode by episodes of season 1 in 1975, that great show that inspired so many things afterwards. The Witcher kind of followed a similar pattern as Kolchak. You almost had like a monster of the week or a situation of the week. For the hardcore D&Ders, it was like, okay, it's a new module every week and we'll see what happens. And they did have like a little meta arc that they introduced into it. But they also had, in addition to that, some other characters. And we talked about how the Bard was kind of popular just as a comedy relief, which is hard to do and be successful. This trailer, to me, though, really has a totally different vibe to it. It's more dark, for lack of a better term. It seems a bit more mature, and it seems like Geralt's talking a lot more, like he's going to be giving us thoughts and opinions a lot, where he's just going to be a chatty Cathy, as it's called, not the sensitive Sally he was in season 1. So those are some things that really popped up too. Is there anything in particular about that you noticed as well in the trailer?
Well, so as far as the trailer goes, like I said, the more I see it, we see a little bit of Yennefer. Obviously, something's happened to her. She meets some. I forgot who it is. It's supposed to be like standing over when she wakes up. Because at the end of the last season, I believe that she was like, after the whole war thing. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if she got knocked out or what. But yeah, obviously, I'm curious if Yennefer is gonna reunite with Geralt. I imagine they will, because she's a key opponent to also helping out, with Ciri. Because in the game they almost can become kind of like a little family.
Yeah.
So like I said, people are saying it's going away from the books. I say it looks a lot like the video game, and that really excites me because I don't know if Ciri was in the books or not. If how much was it part of the books. because I thought the games were a separate adaptation. They weren't exactly like the books. I mean,
Right.
that's another whole topic to talk about. But
Well, yeah, no, you're right about it, because one of the things here, when you mentioned the game from season one, the big bathtub scene where he's in there and you can see his pec and his neckline and his traps and all that. That's right from the game.
That was right from the third game.
Yeah.
With Yennefer. So,
and also the weapons in here. There's a scene where he walks in and you see the two swords and other stuff, and it's like, oh, okay,
well, yeah,
it almost looks like it's the video game.
Yeah, because his two swords. He has one that's made of pure silver for killing, certain animals.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. So I mean, it looks really good. They released the trailer of there's actually going to be a Witcher animated series come out too on Netflix, which was also that's going to be the spinoff, of basically it's called Vesemir. Gerald's mentor. It's a basically a. I'm not sure if it's a spin off of the game or one of the books, but it looks pretty cool too. I mean, part of this. I mean, so you're getting that's coming out on August 23rd, and then that's gonna be like a little teaser, because you're gonna see this coming up in basically the movie, or not the movie, but the TV series is gonna come out later in December 7th. So. I mean, it's kind of cool that we're seeing a trailer for this series, but then we're also getting like a prequel, like a prologue too, with events, what's going to happen, I guess, with his, because his mentor, Vesemir is going to. I imagine he's going to play a huge role in the upcoming season. So for people who don't really know the game, that little anime and it's going to come out, little series, is going to be a good information, for them to absorb.
Yeah, I think the problem with that is even though it's coming out in August, that might whet your appetite or get you hyped up for the December 17th, I think it is, release of The Witcher Season 2, is that if it's not good or we don't care about the character in there, it might sour your opinion of going forward. And it's like, we talked about with The Walking Dead, you can have spin-off shows and be involved in the universe if you really like it, but it's got to be a character that you really, really like. And I don't know that we're emotionally attached to this figure from season one in a sense where we're going to be like, yeah, I want to see it. I think they're just pushing product out there because, hey, it's hot right now and everyone wants to see it, but you can put all the hours of something you like in it. But if you don't care about the character, it's not going to be worth it. But to your point, playing the positive side here, if it's going to be animated, then they can probably get away with doing some things in there that they may not with film, so that might make it a little intriguing, or just like a bit of a different watch too, and maybe hopefully pull in a different set of people that might not have given the first season a watch there too. But no, I think you're right. I think it's a situation where who cares if it's really going and being like the books and or the video games. If it's a product that you like watching and that's your only impression of it, then hopefully they'll continue it as well. But I did see an interview where Henry Cavill did talk about how he's got to give his opinion about things a bit more due to the conditions of what's happening to Geralt in season 2. He didn't really get into it too much, but obviously this would be a great case for the really classic situation that happens at the beginning of almost every episode of a serialized show on Netflix, and it's previously on The Witcher. And, they do a quick summary so they get you caught up to bat. And of course, I'm sure a lot of people probably binge watch season 1 too. But I wanted to ask you about the trailer. It's about a 2-minute trailer, but this trailer really jump cuts a lot. And it's almost like you almost have to pause it every couple seconds if you think you're trying to be looking for Easter eggs and stuff. Did you catch anything that you went, oh, bastards, I didn't see that the first time?
Like I said, I'd have to go back and look again because I wasn't really looking for Easter eggs, because a lot of times you may see something, and it's just a teaser, and it may not really be a big part in the series. So I don't want to get my hopes up for stuff. But the Fable Karen Morin, basically is, the castle where they're going to. That really made me pop because I recognize that right away. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be interesting to see, and speaking of Henry Cavill, he did say, I'm not going to be as grumpy as much this season. No more hooms and ha.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is. I mean, either you love this series from the first series, or you hated it. I mean, there's really no in between because people overanalyze these things. And like I said, you're a fan or you're not a fan. I mean, maybe this doesn't do it for you, and I respect that. You know, that's not your cup of tea. You know, maybe you like the games better more, and this is a poor rendition of that, or you like the books, and you just don't like anything because, well, common sense says if it's a book, and then they never get adapted to like the book, you know. I mean, and sometimes that's better because sometimes the books are not as good, you know. It happens. But I mean, I'm excited to watch this, and I'm just sad that it's like December, I don't know, like 7th or 8th. I was like, come on, really? I gotta wait that long?
I know it's just it's doing what it needs to do. It's making us want to see it. It's teasing us. It's got great imagery. It's got plenty of things to talk about and speculate on, which is what we're doing and everybody else has been doing as well. I think we're all starved to get something that was enjoyable and get more of it. If I recall, season 1 was a direct dump of all the episodes. They did not release it weekly. I'd mentioned back then that I was curious as what it would be like if it could catch fire a bit more than what it did, if it did a weekly release like a Game of Thrones or such, and see if it could be a really powerful franchise. Because if season 2 does take off, I could see them doing a few more seasons, but if it's like typical Netflix fare, it might get a 3rd season, and then that's going to be it, no matter who's in it and what's going on. Just because the expense always goes up every season, usually due to escalators and contracts and other things as well, too. Because I will say this, for my final thoughts, beautiful looking trailer. Love the scenery, loved where it's shot. Looks really sumptuous. It's not completely dark all the time, too. Like you, I'm looking forward to it. What final thoughts do you have?
Well, I'm wondering, was this supposed to come out last year and he got halted?
Because I think there was a delay in it because of COVID. Yep.
And then I guess he hurt his ankle or hurt himself while filming. Henry Cavill did.
Oh, I think he might have popped a bicep when he was injecting the steroid, but you know, I have no problems with that. I'm all for somebody doing that. I have zero issues. Just saying.
All right. Aside from that, yeah, it feels like it has been 2 years, hasn't it? 2019 was the last time.
Yes.
So I completely forgot about it. You know, it's one of those shows. It just like, you know, you forget, you know. And I think the reason why they pushed it back because I'm looking at I'm just remembering all the shows are coming out like in Netflix. So, you know, especially this month, you got, you know, a lot of stuff. You got the He-Man trailer coming out, or the He-Man Part 1, you know, of that the re animated series, and then you got that's also coming out later next month, I believe. But I mean, maybe I think that's the reason they figured December. By then, all this COVID, you know, crap and all stuff will be over with, and then more theaters will be open, or just not even that. It's just that because I know it's not being in theaters, but still, it's like maybe they're thinking like, you know, that more people will be just, you know, especially for people where I live. December, we could have snow by October, you know. So you're looking for something to watch while you're inside warm, nice. You know, December is usually like a nice month for watching, just streaming everything, because you know, like versus the summer where you're gone. You know, August kids are going back to school. You know, so like, you know, they got Thanksgiving and all that stuff. So it looks like it's going to be a good, you know, series.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Obviously, a lot of people have seen that. Checking some of the comments here now. Games, movies, and comics are in. Hey, what's going on? I appreciate you liking it. Games, movies, and comics are us. I wonder if that RS might be a toy, you know, ish name, so to speak. There too. That's the vibe I'm getting. Games. Yeah, I think too is that's what passes for a product these days is a video game based off a book, which is a ripoff of an older intellectual property. But you know what? If you don't know any of that and you're still watching entertained, who really cares is the big thing too. We could say the same thing about Tom Cruise with Mission Impossible, with the fact that he, after I would say having a great first movie, stumbled with the second one and then hit gold from the third one on. It's one of the best franchises that's out there. Yeah, games, movies, comics. We're primarily movies, obviously, here. We have some affiliation with some other comic chats, their stuff too. Obviously, you'll get a hold of those that are in there, but yeah. And here's one last thing, RDV. If this gets big enough, and you're already seeing the spinoff shows, so that tells me that they're willing to invest more money into the franchise. I'm just going, what's going to be the next bigger franchise? You know, we had the Keanu crossover with Cyberpunk. I could very easily see them taking a major AAA studio like that and doing something like it. We've seen that with other games, Assassin's Creed, whatnot. But it's hard, I think, to do that and blur the line, because you can make a show look like a video game, but that doesn't mean it's going to look great. And Hardcore Henry, the movie you and I covered, basically everything from first person perspective. It was simply exhausting how it went. It's really, to me, the gold standard when it comes to watching a video game like that too. So yeah. Yeah, the only thing I'll plug here while Games is here too, RDV, you're aware that we're doing the James Bond films. We don't have a set schedule for it yet, but we just finished the second one, From Russia with Love. We're getting ready to do Goldfinger. We're watching it with Professor Pixel, who usually joins us here on the Xtreme Movie Show. He's covering Twin Peaks with me. I know that the three of us cover different things on Sundays and Tuesdays too, but you and I primarily handle all the action stuff, typically followed here on Tuesday nights. Any last things that you would need to plug, RDV, before we call it a night?
I just want to plug 2 channels, and that's I Love Puppets. Where they over there, you got actually 2 puppets, a frog and an actual puppet.
I don't know how the hell they showed up here on the Xtreme Movie Show. I don't know, but they are pretty hot right now.
I gave them a key. That's what it was. They over there. If you like the CW shows, or if you're a fan of the CW shows, they're over there. They give you honest reviews. There's a crazy frog, and there's a puppet, with no hair. So it's kind of crazy. Check out their channel. I Love Puppets. Also check out I Love Comics. That's another channel. It's mainly that's all about comic books. If you love Marvel, DC, if you want honest reviews over books or just in general, check it out.
And well, to piggyback on that, I Love Comics is affiliated with Old Man Comics. It's lifelong friend of the channel. He's, I've known this guy 40 years, Angleton, so he definitely does comics and stuff like that too. So games, movies, comics for us. Check that out. You'll see that he's been around quite a lot. He does auctions as well there too. So he's definitely working on pumping up those channels and getting them off the ground for as well. Whereas we're a fledgling channel here on YouTube too. But got any questions, got any comments, let us know here on the Xtreme Movie Show. We'll be sure to cover something should it be requested. RDV and I love doing that. We love taking a crap on something if it sucks too. Just go check out Black Summer Season 2. I'm not a fan of that. All right, for RDV, for Angleton, for Professor Pixel, everybody involved here at the Xtreme Movie Show, I'd like to say thanks for listening. As always, guys, stay extreme. Good night.
Later.